At Granny Smith's funeral, her casket was carried from the farm to the center of town to reveal a newly erected statue of a younger version of herself, holding a scythe with her right hoof. The other hoof contained a letter written in stone by Celestia. The white Alicon had to come on account of previous relations. However, her sister was still back in silver shells, as he did not even know her on account of being banished to the moon about 1,000 years ago. When it was time to give out the family farewell, many mares and colts took the stage one by one to say their last goodbye to Granny. After this, the time finally came for Celestia to speak.
I would like to read this letter on this statue to the common pony who may look upon it and wonder what it means. To whoever is reading this letter, this statue is a dedication, a pony who, in the face of unending strife, founded Ponyville, giving zap apples to all. Granny Smith was the pioneer of a thorn-riddled land and poured out much blood, sweat, and tears into the town you see today. This statue reminds us of her tenacity, her never-give-up attitude, and her loving presence while she lived. And may Ponyville remember her exploits throughout generations to come. Not many folks know it now, but when Miss Smith came to me to pitch a parcel of this land, I thought she was crazy. It was so ridden with thorns, I thought some pony else might have found better use of the red tape.
A soft chuckle was scattered throughout the crowd. Many ponies remembered what it looked like before, from artists' renditions long ago.
But I'm glad she proved me wrong. All throughout her life and even after death, she still gave other ponies help. A way of giving to others hospitality that only she could give. I read an excerpt of her last will and testament that 10% of all proceeds of the apple farm be donated to the Penniless Ponies charity. But I believe we need to do better. If Mrs. Smith still believes ponies are down on their luck on what used to be my own doorstep, I shall resound her statement 1,000 times over and donate myself 1,000,000 bits to the same charity. I will not let ponies suffer being poor any longer, because every pony should have a chance.
A roar of applause rippled through the crowd and photos were taken. It was baffling how the ex-queen was willing to give up a lot of money to a cause. But it was a very moving touch, a thing Granny Smith would do if it were in her power. After Celestia had finished, she invited Applejack to say a few words. She meekly walked up and approached the stage that was decorated with a few black opals. That could have been more spectacular if Rarity was around to decorate, but she was needed at the Vanity Fair at Las Pegasus. Pinkie Pie could not attend as she was busy landmarking new sweets from Saddle Arabia. Fluttershy was not there either. She was busy setting up a new Providence, new Ever 3. Rainbow Dash was head of the Wonderful flyby today, and also could not attend, at least in the seats. Despite most of her friends not being there, Twilight saw how Applejack quivered as she got up. It was painful to watch her friend go up there all alone, but it was what she wanted. She told her so at the rehearsal, and all she could do was watch and support her from a distance. Twilight looked over to see Spike dressed well for this occasion, although it looked like he did not look comfortable at all when Twilight looked. She was about to nudge Spike when Applejack finally got enough nerve to speak.
Well, gosh darn. I was gonna read this fancy speech here that my friends helped me write, but it didn't feel right. A real pony who cares for you speaks from the heart. And my heart is aching 'cause you taught me that, Granny.
She began to tear up, as did Twilight. She thought something was going on when she offered to help her. Applejack didn't want to feel like she scripted a quick goodbye. She wanted to say goodbye, when she was ready. A goodbye from the heart. After all this time, Applejack was still faithful, but Twilight wasn't so sure that she was strong at this moment.
Granny, I remember the saplings you planted and all the piles you helped make. And know that I know how much you did since I'm older now. But I know you leaving us does not mean you're done. I know you are up there somewhere plowing a new field for the rest of us. When we cross over. Growing new zap trees for all the people who are now with you. Just do me a favor, Granny. Save me a glass.
From out of nowhere, she grabbed a mug full of fermented cider and poured some on the coffin.
I'll never forget you, Granny. Hail the glorious dead!
Hail, replied the rest of her family members. And with that, Applejack finished the last of the cider. It was one last communion between family members. To finish, Applejack sang a song that was taught to her when she was a filly.
I love to hear the song they're singing. Of love so fine and earthly thing. But there is none to me so precious as the song my mother sings. When just a child I used to listen, when she would sing of God's great love, somehow I knew her voice was blending with the angels above.
The funeral concluded by having her casket go all the way back to Sweet Apple Acres, where she would be buried on top of the highest hill. The Wonderbolts flew over the farm as soon as it was lowered. After the funeral, Rainbow Dash met up with the two friends.
Hey, Applejack. Sorry about your grandma. It must really suck. Unfortunately, I can't help you up much. I can't stay. The Wonderbolts and I gotta do 5 more flybys and prep is a pain, you know? Don't worry none. I'm glad you arrived. Other ponies need their moment too. I don't want to be selfish. Well, you should be. I'm your friend. I should stay with you. Some element of loyalty I turned out to be. But you are loyal. Just your job. It's just different kind of loyalty, that's all. Don't say it like that. It's not that I have much of a choice. My flyers need lots of training, and right now I'm all they got. Rainbow, please. It's okay. Really. You really don't mind. Go on, get. Focus on your job, RD. Don't get dishonorably charged because of me.
Actually, as the Princess of Equestria, I can pardon any charges brought up.
Oh, yeah! That's awesome! Thanks, Twilight. Just wait until... Oh. Twilight, I can't let the element of loyalty squander due to personal interest. I learned that when we first met, Twilight.
I can change the law, Rainbow.
No way. You would not change the law for no pony else. Why should I? The others would get jealous. Before I leave my Jay, I'm really sorry about Granny.
Rainbow's Wonderbolts took to the air slowly to go to their next destination. As soon as every pony else dispersed, Applejack wanted to take Twilight aside for a moment.
didn't expect this to happen, Twilight. I'm sorry.
Why are you being sorry, Applejack? I told you. No pony can plan for death. It's impossible.
Yes, I mean that, but I also mean something else, Twi. I'm afraid I wasn't. Would you follow me first, Belle?
Applejack led her to the back of the barn and opened the storehouse basement. As soon as she opened the door, Twilight looked at the spectacle before her, for the storehouse was filled to the brim with the crates of pears.
Twilight, I guess I owe you an explanation about these here pears. I had no pony. Even my other sibling, Big Mac, was away for a spell. No pony was all of a sudden with me, to help me, to spit horseradish with me. I devised this plan, Twilight.
Applejack? What the actual? Hey! Did you really steal pears for 3 weeks straight? Just to see me?
All that time I thought about you, about my family. Very important ponies in my life.
Well, what about Granny? Was she not enough company? What of the pears?
Don't you talk about my dead grandma like that. Besides, you saw how degraded she was. She was hardly awake when you arrived. And what of the pears? Consarn it, I just want to see one of my best friends. And you were the closest one, so I got your attention.
I can't believe it, Applejack. You actually stole?
All those things I mentioned about you. Coming over, doing old times. That was actually me who wanted all that. And seeing you made my world a whole lot better. Just talking to you in the kitchen that day. I finally felt like the apple I'm supposed to be.
You lied, Applejack. You lied to me. And you stole from other ponies. Applejack. I thought you learned about honesty years ago. I thought you would have known better. The pony I know does not steal and lie. The pony I grew up with...
But I did grow up. I grew up too fast. All of us did. Time passed, and all of us just drifted away. I know I was a fool, but I just wanted to see you again. Now that I have, I'm content. And content, Twi. Even as your Archon, I just feel like a better pony when I'm here with a friend. That's why I'm turning myself in. I'm content with what has happened. And I'm ready for whatever punishment you give me.
Applejack, I don't know. Well, I think for starters you have to explain this to the pears. And after that, you are going to the friendship school to perform a few months of community service. After that, I'm not sure, Applejack. I'm not sure there is a punishment fitting that doesn't involve going to prison. I'm disappointed, Applejack. I feel betrayed. I just can't.
Twilight let the sentence hang there.
I guess we better start walking then,
said Applejack, leading the way. Twilight recalled all this as she was on her way to Ponyville. She had indeed forgiven her a long time ago, but the memory of the death she could not forget for some reason. She had a sneaking suspicion something was going to happen about Applejack's deceased grandmother.